All right. Welcome back. Another episode of the Strategy Vault, episode number 42.
We're back.
And
We're
the
really
title
back
is
this
not
time.
supposed to be Closers Thursday. Today we're talking about the 10X. We're talking about the 10X, the new book that Felix and I started reading. The 10X mentorship by Grant Cardone. What a G this guy is.
The
Yeah,
G-
man. Just
Yes,
got
sir.
back. Just got back from Germany yesterday.
Where are you right now, my
I'm
jardin?
I'm in the house of Mr. Felix. I set myself up next to this beautiful plant to give a nice vibe for the podcast, and I think it's working out. It was pretty chill.
Rich.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Hey, the lighting is really nice over here where I'm at.
that's all.
Yeah, bro. I wanted to cover some stuff today. Well, actually, first, Phil, let's talk about the election. Let's talk a bit politics.
No,
Let's
but that
talk.
politics.
We might. I'm just warning our viewers. We might get into a scrap. We might get into a fight if we start talking about politics. It is
What do
what
you
it
want?
is, though. Let's give them a show. All right, man. How do you feel about the outcome of the elections?
How do I feel? I feel. Do I feel some type of way because of the election? I would say I don't really feel anything because I was expecting this. This is something I was expecting, not because like people are asking, did you win your election? Well, I'm but I don't want to get into this too much, but like I feel I like in advance, bipartisan is to me is you have two choices. You have either left or right, blue or red. To me, it's just like give me more. I need more on the menu, but that's me. How do I feel about the election? This guy has communication power like I feel no other candidate ever like could have dreamed of having. This guy has all the experience you would expect from a presidential candidate to go and to go after and go eat the competition. So that's what he did.
It's
And
pretty
Kamala,
wild how they like. If you remember, a few months ago they were gonna throw him in jail.
Mhm.
I have to admire that this guy doesn't stop. He doesn't stop fighting. So there's things like you can hate him, but there's so much to admire from this guy. Like he got shot at recently. He almost got thrown in jail by his opponent. This guy is a beast. He's a fucking monster. He doesn't stop. He's the type of guy like he gets stronger with adversity. Like a lot of
I
people would cave. A lot of people would just cave after all
do
this
you
shit
feel do you
that
feel
happens.
that Kamala Harris caved at some point in the fight against
She
Donald
gives
Trump?
me marionette
She
vibes.
gave up.
She gives me marionette vibes. I feel that when you're voting for her, you're voting for somebody else in the back. That I think that's why they voted the other way, because you have one candidate that just says what he says what he believes in, and you don't feel like there's somebody behind him pulling the strings. The other one, just one side feels really fake. One side, they're both too extreme. I think they're both two extreme sides. One side is extreme in the sense of like, okay, you can make arguments about like he says shit sometimes that it's like, wow, politicians don't say stuff like that. But you don't get the feeling that somebody's behind him controlling his actions, controlling his words, and you get the feeling the other way. Anyways, do you know, like, I don't know if we should explain that for people, like what is left and what is right, what is conservative, what is liberal? Like when I ask you that, what do you think about?
the only thing that was interesting me in the in this campaign really was the two machines behind both parties. That was interesting to like what they were after. You know, things changed in the past 10 years. It changed, like it changed quickly. I
What do you
think
mean by machine?
the machines. I mean the political machines behind both parties. Like you said, you said Kamala Harris gave you a vibe of marionette vibe. Um, it's interesting because you see that on one side you have Donald Trump who has a very clear vision, and he was,
Right.
it was, you could say, you could you could say it was an imperfect one, a very good one, a great one, but at least he had a vision on like where he was going, the US, the, the US people.
He was clear. He was clear though. He was like, day
He
one.
was
I
clear.
come in. I come in day one. We're gonna drill,
This
baby,
is
drill. We're gonna
this will
lower.
happen.
We're
Yeah,
gonna close the border. We're gonna
a lot of
we're gonna
things were
reduce inflation.
in your
Like
head. You know what's going to happen.
exactly.
If you're a Donald Trump voter, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you like voting for this guy because it's actionable. He's
For
giving
me,
you
it's like
actions, actionable stuff. Kamala Harris was fixing issues. She was actually talking about taking away the pain from the process, taking away pain. And she was, and when I say the machines behind, I think they were trying to, they were using the fact that some people, some um uh, uh like, comment on dit ça, bro? Des tranches de la population, les tranches de la
she was
population
just
comme.
saying what they wanted to hear. So if she would be
So
in,
some groups, she was using like some
yes,
very
I saw
specific
that.
social groups,
Yes, I saw.
and she was like targeting these social groups, and
Yes,
trying
pro.
to use these pain points
Yes,
to gather these
yes,
people and say
yes.
we're gonna fix it. And
Yeah.
but it's been used, and we've heard that before, and we've
I,
heard that in the past, and it just sounded weird, it just sounded fake, to some degree. You could agree with me, you could say, like, hey,
I want to just
but
touch. I want to just touch on that because the other day I was at the gym, and when I'm at the gym, I like to listen to podcasts and stuff like that. I was listening to a podcast about that a couple days before the election, and they said something. They said that Kamala Harris was in one state campaigning, and her tone was more pro-Israel, and then she was in another state, and she was her tone was more pro-Palestine, and at the end of the day, like the demographics of those states were more pro-Israel or pro-Palestine, and she
mm,
was giving more of a. So what you're saying, I think is true. Trump doesn't do that. Trump just he doesn't know. Like I feel like there's nobody behind him controlling what he says. He goes there, he says what he says. He says this is what I think is going to be better. We need to drill, baby, drill. We need to close the border. We need
yeah,
to do this, and people are resonating with that.
yeah.
And
The communication
for
the
me,
communication strategy was very clear on Donald
it
Trump's
was
side,
clear. It was
and on
clear.
Kamala Harris, they just went from left to right, and they really went. I feel, and I'm not the only one saying that. Like they were off center completely. They were too much on the left for some. Like, I'm not the one saying. Let's be clear. Like, it's something I realize, and I, after watching, like, news and stuff like that, do I feel that it could have been better? Yes, I feel like it could have been better. Um, but
Like what do
yeah,
you mean
the
better? Like
results are speaking for themselves. Like right now, the Democratic Party is having to deal, has to deal with the loss today. They have to deal with it. So in some sense, is she a marionette? Is she not? um, is not really relevant at this point, because Donald Trump was, I feel, more transparent on his, you know, him manifesting the reason of his venue. You know, here I am, and here is what I come for. Like, I come for this. I'm tired of this. Let's fix this. Let's fix that. We're going there, you know. And
Yeah, it's just,
people bounced. You know, it
why would you
echoed.
just revote the same? Like, she's right now, she's the one in power. Shit's not going good. Why would you want to revote that in? That's my mindset on it. Like, people can't afford, most people can't afford groceries. Most people can't afford the basic necessities anymore. Why would you vote the same administration in? That's what I see. It's just because she plays with people's emotions with the thing about the abortion laws, and no, Donald Trump is against abortion, this and that. I don't even think it's true. Like, anyways, it's all bullshit, bro. It's, for
Well,
me.
for that, we can't say we're not. Je vais pas parler trop de ça là, parce que I really don't know. Like I said, I was more interested in the communication strategies involved and how the media was talking about it on either side. And there's more Republican medias and there's more Democratic medias, and how they were pushing their candidates and how they were. It was a different approach, and they were definitely targeting different people, different groups. And I feel Donald Trump had more of a strategy, broader strategy, trying to get more like, people who were tired of this administration.
People are tired, exactly.
You know,
That's why it went that way.
And a lot of people are tired. So that's how we picked up so many people. And so, yeah, and you end up with the results that you have right now. And so how could we learn from the communication?
Look at it from a global stage. Look at it from a global stage. Who do you want dealing with foreign leaders?
I don't want to get into that.
Who do you
George,
want?
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that, because this is me taking. I don't want. No, I don't know. I can't say. Who knows what Kamala Harris government would have looked like. Like, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get into
live.
No, because I'm not a professional.
Let's change the topic.
I'm not a professional. But to be honest, I'm not a professional. I don't want to.
You don't have to be a professional.
Speculations.
You don't have to be a professional to give your opinion. But anyways, let's just move on to the next thing here.
But I just don't know. To be honest, I don't have an opinion. That's why I don't want to say it. I don't have an opinion on who. And to be honest, Donald Trump is unpredictable and is not my favorite. He's not my favorite. I don't like the guy really much. I know guys like him, and they could be also full of S. So I'm not.
I would choose him to. I don't
have expectations.
Like, if he was here, I would vote. I would vote for him if he was here. I don't care about the things that people care about. Like, oh, he said this.
It's not the point.
Like, I don't care about those things.
It's not the point. It's just the guy. It's just the personage, bro. It's just the personage. His identity. I just
which
don't
one
like
would make
him.
my?
It's not. It doesn't equal with me.
Which one would make my life better? End of story. He said something bad about. Let's say he insulted fat women.
So who will make your life better, Jord? Who will make your life better? Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or Giordano Lonobile?
Me.
Tell me. It's you. So at the end of the day, I don't have an opinion on that. I have more of an opinion on what I could do for me as an individual in Canada, in the US, in Europe, whatever. Like, who I could be the best version. Like, what's the best version of myself in either like political or social campaign or who, like, wherever I sit, I should be the best version of myself. There's gonna be politics everywhere you're gonna be sitting, if you really think about it. If you go to Africa, if you go to a certain degree.
The other day we were talking about how Quebec has really high business tax.
Yeah.
So if an elected leader got in office and lowered the tax, wouldn't that make your life a bit better?
I would talk. If you really want to get into the technical stuff, moi je pense que I would be thinking about why in history it's been like that for the and not like just straight go to the, oh yeah, this guy gives me what I want. Let's vote for him. There might be a trap hidden. Maybe we need those taxes. Maybe like I would go deeper. I would go dig deeper. I like facts. I like studies. I like science. I like maths. I used to hate math. If I have school, like if I have my school teachers watching this, they will be laughing because I hated math when I was. Mais maintenant j'aime ça because it's science. So when you get into the math of things, you realize that most of the times politics are just emotions. I don't like emotions. I like business.
All right. So having
I like
said that,
success. I like money.
let's get right into that. Let's just
Let's
end it
go.
right there. Okay, the thing we read about, Phil, the thing about setting the huge goals and having the abundance mindset that
Yeah.
we spoke about.
Yeah.
We were talking a bit, and I stopped you from talking any further because I wanted to continue our conversation on the pod, on the podcast. The abundance thing, because I see the way you are when you're spending money. You don't really look much at the price. Do you mind if I call you out? Do you mind if I call you out a bit? Do you mind if I call you? Is it okay? Can I just
I
call
don't
you out
look
a
at
bit?
the price. But what do you mean by that?
Wait.
Tell me what do you mean? Because
So
my wife would say, hey.
you and I are a bit different with that.
Okay. Okay.
I tend
If
to
you
be a
say
bit
between
more-
you and me, okay.
I tend to be a bit more. If my friends are watching, my
On the
friends
saving side,
know how I am.
on the budgeting side.
So yeah, a bit on the budgeting side. Like I'm a bit more careful when I spend. I'm a bit more like I want to give you a few examples too to explain what I mean. I'll spend the money when I think there's an opportunity for it to grow. With stuff like that, I'm less careful. I'm more careful with stuff like, for example, I'll give you an example. So I just came back from Germany yesterday, and I was checking in my luggage. I look at the price. I'm like, okay, it's $100 to check in my luggage. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to spend $100 to check in my luggage, and then I have to spend another $100 to come back home. You and most people would look at it like, fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking book it. But me, who goes a little step further and says, and I ask myself the question, do I have to spend $100 on a luggage? Let me look. I'm going to Canada for 2 to 3 months, whatever. I look, I'm like, okay, I have this much clothes. Actually, sorry, it was my girlfriend. She's like, babe, do you really need to spend that? I'm like, let's take a look. This is how much clothes I have. She gives me a smaller luggage because the airline allows you to bring one small carry-on and a personal item. So like I could bring a backpack and a small carry-on for free.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it like, if I could actually fit my stuff in there, number one, I don't have to spend the $200, and when I land, I don't have to wait for my luggage. I just get out of the airport.
Yeah, okay. I would have done the same thing, to be honest. I would have done the same thing.
I'm like, I took like five minutes to pack the stuff.
Yeah, just for the not waiting. I hate waiting.
So I put the stuff in the luggage. I'm like, everything seems to fit. Fuck it. Let's do that. Most people wouldn't do that. Most people wouldn't have taken the step to say, is there a way that I can save this $200? If it would have started getting complicated, what if this, what? Fuck it, I'll spend the $200. But just the fact that I took that extra step to say, can I save that $200? I'm not going to make my life difficult to save the $200. But if I can take it, I know most people while they were doing their check-in, right away they would have just said, okay, I have no choice. So that's one little thing how I think that the difference between me and you, and I know you probably wouldn't have went a step further. You would have just said, I'm just gonna spend that $100. And I look at it like, I get to save time too now. And but now I'm also risking a little bit. What if I want to bring more stuff when I go back? Now I'm limited on space.
Why? Because you need to bring the same amount. You can't get the add-on on the way back because you already
but it's just because my luggage is there. So now I gotta maybe buy another luggage.
Exactly. Okay.
So that was the only downfall.
Okay.
That was the only downfall. But then I'm like, what do I need to bring there? Whatever I could buy there, I could buy it here. So they have Zara here. They have I can just go shopping here and get my clothes here. I don't really need to bring it.
But you're going to buy another computer though.
Yeah, but I have space for that. I have space for a computer. That's fine. I'm not bringing the tower.
You made me think. I think the way I work, I like to save on personal stuff, but I don't like to save on convenience when it comes to managing my time in work and life. Because in GTD they talk about the game of work and the business of life. I love it because it's all mixed all together. It's mixed up. The game of work and the business of life. It's bro, this is my world. Like when it comes to managing as much businesses and as much projects as possible, like this podcast, and like I would not save up on that because I know it's it if and when I say save up on that, I would say, let's say, okay, let's talk about softwares to automate
Courses,
tasks,
for example,
courses.
like online courses. Like you'll spend, like
I
you'll
will
spend the money without
spend, but I
looking.
will shop and I will budget myself more than I will. Because when you talk about me spending and not looking, I think I spend more on softwares than anyone I know. I spend so much on software and trying new software and using my credit card for that because
But I like that about you. I like that about you. When it comes to certain things, like when we were on Discord the other day together, and you were sharing your screen, and you came across an ad for the you came across an ad to buy this course, and it's funny because there was a countdown. Remember, there was a countdown, 15 minutes. Buy it now and save an extra $200. You bought
yeah,
that shit right away.
yeah,
It
I
was
bought
an
it.
it was an online course that taught you marketing, podcasting, lead generation, click
Everything.
funnels, whatever the hell that
Yeah,
is. But you bought
yeah.
it without even looking. You didn't even look at the price. You didn't care. You're just like, okay, I'm buying this. It's
Well,
gonna
I
because it's
knew,
gonna
I
help
knew,
me.
I knew the teacher, right?
You knew the teacher.
So I knew the quality. I read books before. You would think I'm impulsive on
That's
on
fine.
buys, but
You are. You are. The thing about I'm looking at your ninja thing. Did you need that ninja thing? I come to your house one day. I see like 17 boxes of Amazon just piled up. Oh yeah, my Amazon order just came in.
that
Ugh.
was Christmas, bro.
I
That was
come
for
back the next
Christmas.
day, bro. Every time I come to your house, there's Amazon
No,
boxes
no, no, no,
getting
no, no,
brand new
no.
orders.
C'est
Like, yeah, I just got this Ninja juice maker. Like, if you're using it, fine. If it's gonna
I'm
be
using
collected,
it.
done. Okay, then fine.
It's very good. It's a very good
But
machine.
it's just I don't know. It's just certain things. It's just certain things that. Okay, but that's fine, bro. It's a kitchen appliance that you
But
like. It's just
these courses that you talk about, these courses, and like these, I buy books. I buy a lot of books without looking. Um, you know, there's value right away.
I agree. I agree. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't.
You
I don't.
you
I don't cheap out. I don't cheap out on stuff that will give me more value.
brain
Yeah.
more brain muscle. Like
Yeah.
let's be real. This a book that you buy right now, or a course. The only thing that's like, as soon as you buy the course, you're like most people will be like, okay, I'm gonna buy the course. Let me start that
The
tomorrow.
fact that you spend the money on it, it makes you make sure that you get your money's worth. That's the thing. It's like, oh, I just spent $700 on this
Well,
course.
I should do it, right? Now I need to do that thing.
Now you have no choice to do it. That's the benefit of putting your own money for like an online course or something. You actually have to do it. You're like, I just put the money for it. Like I need to get my money's worth.
You should shop around. I wouldn't say like don't budget, like because I don't want to make it sound like you should just buy any course and just go out there and spend $1,000 on courses. I shop around, but when I see something at a few $100, I know there's a lot of these courses are selling for like $1,000, $2,000. Hey, I see a course for 250 from a reader, from a writer that I know, or from a good speaker that I know, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Why not?
You just pick it up right away.
Let's
It was
go.
more like the point I was getting at was the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset is just having the mindset where like, I'll just spend the money. It's gonna come back. The universe
Mm.
is gonna find a way somehow, and I'm gonna get it back. So why would I? Because it's a mindset thing. Some
Yeah.
people view it like I don't view it like this personally. I view everything as a balance. Like everything should have a balance. I don't actually believe that you should just go buy stuff just because I'm going to spend money and it's going to make me want to go make more money to get richer, and the universe is going to give it back to me. Whereas if you're being frugal and if you're being careful with your money, the universe is going to give that back to you. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
give you a conservative mindset. And you're always going to be budgeting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was having dinner. I was
Very
having
interesting.
dinner in Spain with my family and my sister. I'm going to call out my sister. My sister has that mentality of just spend, 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 spend. Whether it's nice clothes, Louboutin shoes, fashion stuff, she'll spend, 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 spend. And me and my dad are looking at her like,
But
Alessia,
she's, hey, let's be real. She's in the business of that, though. She's in
she
the
is
business
in
of
the
that.
business
She's
of
in
that,
fashion.
but
She's in the fashion business.
she still needs to relax a bit. Like she's still young too, right? She has a podcast that's doing very well, and it's like, Alessia, you're
What's the
making
name?
money now with your.
What's the name of the
It's called
podcast?
X the podcast,
The X podcast.
the X podcast. Yeah, she's doing really well with it. Um, she's been killing it. She's been tearing it up. She's been doing it for the past couple of years. She has sponsors, and kudos to her. So me and my dad were talking to her, Alessia, like, chill out. She's just spending money. Like, she's like, for example, she booked her flight, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna stay an extra couple days. She goes and check. It's like $500 to extend her stay by like three. She books it.
Yeah, we do that. We do
It's
that all the
stuff.
time.
So like buying all expensive clothes and stuff like this. And she says like she was telling me and my dad like, don't worry about it. She's like she has that mindset. That mindset is of like I don't want to be cheapo. I want to just buy what I want because then my mindset is gonna make me hungrier and have to keep working harder to keep up with that lifestyle. And then me and my dad were trying to tell her like, well, my dad was more the complete opposite end. Like, no, you know how our parents were more conservative. They didn't have the opportunities that we had. They had to work hard and they had to save and they had to. They came from my grandparents who moved here with nothing in their pocket. So our parents had more that mindset to be more careful, save, and we have less that mindset. We have more that mindset, I guess, of today, like where we just spend, 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 spend.
Are we?
And so I
Are
just
we?
want
Are we spending so much more than our grandparents did? Do you think?
foolishly, yes, our grandparents would never go buy those things that they didn't need. My grandmother had to buy had to
But there was
my
not so
grandmother
many
had to
things, though.
my grandmother came here with nothing by herself, raising 5 kids, feeding potatoes
But I
to
feel like there was a lot less offer on a table. Like there's so many things right now, and if you're on the internet, you're getting blasted with ads and funnels, click funnels to buy. But like, let's be real though. Like the feeling of abundance, like where does it come from? Why do I want abundance for myself? Because it's to free yourself, right? Like you want options, you want choices. I was starting businesses. I did the leap of faith when I was 25 years old. I'm 34 years old right now, so it's about 10 years. So at 25 years old, I had no idea what it takes to sacrifice time, energy, money to start a new business. Um, I didn't know how much time it takes to transform uh, wins and money into an actual, self driving mechanism that drives people into your system, and people are actually enjoying themselves working for you. I had no idea of the mechanism at that time, and I feel like for a lot of people, they're lost in the process. And now more than ever, like everybody's saying, hey, start your business. But nobody's really talking about like,
the sweat and tears, the blood,
yes,
sweat,
the
and tears.
sweat and tears, but what does it take you like to go from A to B to like, okay, A to Z? I need $10 million. I need big
Yeah,
targets. I need bigger. But like, hey,
nobody's
like
willing to
there's
put in the work.
steps to this. Like
Yep.
there's steps to this. What are the steps? You need quick wins. And like, if there was one advice I would have needed at the beginning, like, hey, like what could, like, if a mentor, and that's the book that we're reading right now, 10x mentor, is about, having a good coach, having someone that's there to, like, that you
To
could
push you.
actually, like, yeah. So if I had that coach 10 years ago, if I had to talk to myself, I would have been like, hey, it doesn't matter, like, what kind of win, how big it is. You need quick wins, and you need them, like, in a short time span. You need quick wins all the time,
Yeah, because
not
they propulse you to higher levels for sure. You need to have wins. First of all, that it just opens up your appetite. You get a small win, and it just makes you crave another one and another one,
mm,
another one. That's a mindset thing. It's more like when I talk about the abundance thing. It's like to people who are already rich. There's a saying that goes, oh, like you hear people sometimes say it like, oh, that person is cheap, this and that. Oh, well, that's how they stay rich. I'm sure a lot of people have heard this. Do Does that mindset? I'm just curious because I think balance is important. I think it's not. I think it's important to, like, the story with the luggage.
mm,
It's just to give you an example of my frame of mind of how I'll try to maybe save that 200. I
mm.
try to save the 200 on the luggage. Just because, I took that extra step. I take that extra mini step. Okay, that 5 minutes to analyze. Okay, no, it's not worth it. It's going to cause too many headaches. I'm going to just spend the 200. And then I analyzed it. I said, okay, I'm going to save time at the airport for waiting for my bag, and I'm going to save 200. Fuck it. I'm going to save the 200.
But
So
the
does
thing
having
that
this mindset make me like, I think of this sometimes. Does having the mindset of wanting to save, you know,
hmm,
$5 here, $10 here, 15, does that harm me in the long run? Because it's
mm,
giving me a mindset of like, oh, of not abundance. In a way,
what
is it giving me like a poor person's mindset?
what are you saving for?
Well, more cash gives you more fuel.
What is the saving account for?
It doesn't matter what it's for. It's just
No,
more
but
money
not.
saved is more money to invest in.
Yes, 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 yes. But, like, invest in what is my
It
question.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's money. I look at money as
I
soldiers.
understand.
I
I
look at money as
understand. I
soldiers going to
understand that
war.
it doesn't matter. But when I talk of this, is more like, you yourself, as a person, need to ask yourself this question: what is it for? Because if you're saving money just for the sake of saving money, you might be shorting yourself out in some sort of way that you don't like. Your luggage story is actually, like, I would probably have done the same thing, to be honest, just because, okay, it's $200. Like, it's actually
I don't
$200.
think so. I
It's
don't
your
think so.
needs. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Like, when you need it, you need it. When you don't need it, you don't need it. So you need to ask yourself if you do need it. It's not a question really of budgeting in that case, in that particular case. But I understand, like, why you say I would have I would say it really depends. Me and my wife, we were talking about, because I went at the airport to pick you up, and I went across the parking lot because I was just doing rounds. At the airport they never let you just park and
Yeah,
wait. So I had to, like, do rounds, and I got lost, and I just went into the stacked parking lot, and I just saw people, parking their car. I don't know how much a day it is. Like, I think it's $50 a day at the
it's a
airport. It's
lot. Yeah,
super
it's so expensive.
expensive. Like, it's out of this world. I saw a bunch of cars. There is cars parked there, and obviously there was a bunch of Teslas, a bunch of Mercedes Benz, but I saw people, like, they literally parked their car very close to the entrance of the airport. It's right there, and I saw people, like, it's November in Quebec. November is Quebec in Quebec are pretty like chilly, like, they could be chilly. I mean, by chilly I mean, like, what, 5 degrees, 10 degrees. Yesterday was pretty hot, though. It was like 20 degrees. It was an exception. I saw people in t-shirts just leaving their car and just, like, with hands in their pockets, walking like penguins, going to the airport. I was like, that's a lifestyle. That's different. Like, you leave your home, you go straight to the airport, you park your car, you go inside, and you pay a bunch. You pay the amount that some people wouldn't even have paid for their stay, like in a hotel. Like you pay like $50 a day just for your car to sit there, and you're leaving. And when you're back, you're just back in your car, couple steps, you put your stuff in your trunk, boom,
Yeah. Okay. So
it's
you're saying they parked far from the airport?
no, it's not far. It's right there. Like
Okay,
I
and they
said,
and they park for free.
no, they park for $50 a
Oh,
day.
they're parking for $50 a day,
I
and they have
think.
to walk in the
I
cold.
don't know if
Okay.
it's the right fee.
So
I just saw $50. I don't know if it's a day,
So
but I
I
saw
know there are some
$50 at
people.
some
I
point.
know there are some people that will pay that. They'll pay the $50 a day. They'll leave for a week and they'll pay a couple $100
Yeah.
to keep their car parked at the airport. I would never do something like that. Never. I would look. Okay, how can I save that 300-400? Okay, I can take a taxi. I can ask somebody to drive me, pick me up. But some
No, I
people they
wouldn't
just
do
want to
that.
have. Some
I
people
wouldn't do
want to.
that.
Some people will have. In Portugal, it costs. I think it's like €20 a day to park at the airport. Sometimes I go away for a couple days to because in Europe you can just take a plane to Spain. You can I could take a plane to France, Italy for a couple days. When you're already in Europe, and I'll park. I can park in the street.
Mhm.
It's about a 15-minute walk. It's a 15-minute walk, but I have to walk with my bag. It's a bit of a. It's like okay, I have to walk with my bag. Nah, nah, nah. I'm always parking far. Some people will say like, "Oh well, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna pay the 20 a day and have the convenience of not have to carry my bags 15 minutes." But I'm the opposite. I'm like, no, I'll walk the 15 minutes. I'll save the couple €100, the 200, 150 euros, 200 euros. It's like okay, it's 15 minutes of walking, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to make 200 euros.
Hey, that's funny. It's funny how like you were talking. I was like, hey, my maths are different. I remember when we started Lightspeed, and I was working in the daytime at that other job because I was training people at the. I had a contract. I was working at another. I was in downtown. I had no time. We began the company and I had a choice to make at some point. I had like difficult choices were to be made at some point. I had to choose between parking my car or taking the metro or paying for a pass downtown, underground parking spots.
Mm-hmm. That was when you were working at Lightspeed downtown.
Lightspeed and the other
And that
the other
parking,
thing in the
how much
daytime.
is the parking if you leave it in the street? It's like $2 an hour or something like
There's
that, right?
no spots in the street, bro. Forget
But
it.
even though it's like $2 an hour, and you're there for
It's
what?
my time. It's my time searching for a parking spot.
See,
That
like that's
was
a bit different.
worth.
If it's for your business, that I'll probably splurge because
So
it's
that's
like
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm
that's a
like
different scenario.
when you were talking about how much it costs to park your car somewhere, I'm thinking about how much time I'm spending, and
Right.
in real terms, I'm thinking more about. And in the past few years, we've been developing the business. I was thinking like, is it really worth it to move myself from one place to another and spend money for something that's speculations? It's not real right now. It's not even happening. Is it gonna happen? I don't know if it's gonna happen. I stopped spending because it's either I spend the money and I really don't care about parking and finding a parking. I don't like I because I know already that the meeting will be worth it. So I make the meeting worth it before I move myself. If it's not worth it, in my head, the logic is just why spending money, even
So
for
you're
gas, even for
okay.
leaving,
That's
even for
interesting.
time, even
That's
for
interesting.
energy.
That's interesting. So you're justifying paying for the parking because your meeting that you're spending is worth it.
Of course.
You're
I'll
because that
spend
meeting is gonna
50.
okay.
I'd spend
So okay,
10x
so
the
okay, so
amount.
I wouldn't look at it like that. I would look at it like this. I'll look at it like I'll save money on the parking and I'll make the meeting worth it. I'll
You
save
need the
money on the
time.
parking and I'll make
You need the time. You need to gather the time. You have no time.
show up early. Show up a little bit early.
No. You don't understand. Early, you're doing something. In between, bro. I'm late.
How far are we talking
I'm
about though?
late.
These
I'm late
variables
to
are important. How far?
92% of my meetings.
How far are we? How far is the parking? That's You see, that's what you have to.
It
You have to
doesn't
factor in. You have to
matter.
factor in. Do
How
I have to
much does
drive
it
around?
cost to park in front? Is my real question.
Do I have to drive around? Do I have to drive around, stress myself to find the spot, and then go in the meeting stressed? I'm spending the money 100% of the times.
Okay, man,
That's a
bro.
different matter.
Let's talk about like I have a meeting. I go there. Like I have meetings sometimes downtown Longueuil. I love downtown Longueuil. Costs nothing to park your car.
Oh, why, man?
I see nice downtown Longueuil, bro. The old Longueuil. There's nice restaurants there. There's a nice Portuguese restaurant, Silva Grillade. I shouldn't be talking about Portuguese restaurant, but they're not the same as a Quinta. It's very different, and it's on the South Shore. I shouldn't be talking.
Hey, bro, I know this cleaning company, Calinet. They're amazing.
Poor guy. But it's on the South Shore. I meet. I was meeting my my accountant and my all the financial guys on the South Shore in a residential spot. It's pretty nice. I go there. I never really. We go there because it's not because it's free, but because it's easy. And I know these guys, they have a very, we're all busy. So to be able to meet all 3 or 4 of us at the same table on a you know, Monday, or no, it's never on Mondays, always on like Wednesdays. I'll probably have one of these meetings on next week. You know, to be able to meet like 3 or 4 of us, have a nice lunch and take some time. We need time. We need to make up some time. I can't be driving. I'm gonna miss some conversations if I'm, you know, driving around town in a nice restaurant downtown. We don't care about nice restaurants downtown. We want to meet each other. We want to talk. We want nice conversations. So we're making sure that we're actually going to restaurants that are not really like, I'm not saying like it's just I'm not saying it's a random restaurant, but it's not like the restaurant, or we're not going to my restaurant, my favorite. We're not going to, they're not coming always. We went to a Quinta. Me and Stefan we're going to it's his favorite. He go out of his way to go to a Quinta. He loves a Quinta. Because he's from Trois-Rivières. So when he comes down, he's just like, hey, on va à Quinta, of course, okay, I'm gonna go out of my way, even if it's because it's for this guy. It brings value. Like
we were there yesterday. We were at a Quinta yesterday. Shout out to Rick, man. I came back from Germany. The first thing I wanted was a nice poutine. You picked me up at the airport. We went straight to a Quinta, smashed a nice poutine. Hey, man, for a Wednesday, I don't think I've ever seen it that busy. Usually, it's busy like that on weekends, like Friday, Saturday. That's crazy. I'm really surprised. It's really, really busy now, and for a good reason, man.
Faut appeler pour réserver, man. Faut que t'appelles pour réserver si tu veux une place, honnêtement. Le soir, n'importe quel soir. C'est fou. Ils sont toujours full. On peut même pas rentrer pour faire notre podcast. Ils veulent pas nous inviter. Il y a pas de place pour nous.
But
anyways, so, man, like you need to make up for some time if you want to make more money. Make up for some time. I understand you want to make up.
Can we agree? You need a balance.
Save money.
Like you need a balance. You can't to each their own. Like my sister, she likes to spend money on all those things and not save, or not, like she would rather buy.
Est-ce que ça lui sauve du temps, though? Does it save her time? I'm just like, if you want to choose between expenses.
But it depends on how much your time is worth. I think that's what it comes down. It comes down to how much is your time worth. For me, I'll spend the 15 minutes to save 200 euros, right?
How much do you value your time, Jordan? How much are you worth?
I don't know.
An hour.
I didn't look at that. I don't look at that stuff. The thing
Why?
is, like, I grew up in a household where, with that old school mentality, where we always try to save when we can. But now, the more as I grow, the more I value time. Time is money. So you have to look at it like, how much is your time worth? How much is your time worth? So let me go back to the parking at the airport story, where leaving for a week, parking my car 15 minutes away saved me that much time. Even if I was worth 200 euros an hour, Even if that was my time, like, I don't know. You're going and wait in the airport. Might as well, for that 1 hour that I spent an extra 30 minutes, well, 15 minutes to park my car, even though I'm worth 200 an hour, okay? Hear me out. I'm worth 200 euros an hour, okay? Okay, no, it's actually, it comes out to more than 200 euros an hour. If I'm saving 150 euros in a 15-minute time, no, sorry, it's 30-minute time. So that would make me at 300 euros an hour, my time. Let's say I was worth 300 euros an hour, okay? I'm going to walk and I'm going to park far from the airport, 15 minutes away from the airport, and save 150 in parking fees at the airport. Even if I'm worth 300 an hour, I'm still doing that move because I'm going in the airport. I'm going to sit down anyways and wait for my flight. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it doesn't just come down to how much are you worth, how much do you value your time.
Why?
It doesn't just come down to that because it's like, okay, what will I be spending my time on right now? And the answer to that question is I'm going to be sitting down in the airport waiting for my flight.
Yeah.
So I'll
but
spend the extra 15, 30
okay,
minutes
so
of walking back and forth.
here how I see things. I like, have you ever seen like how like on paper, like on how many years makes how many months, how many days you have left? It's not it's a small number. You don't have a lot of time on Earth.
No, you don't.
You're a blimp. You're a blip. You're a blink, if you think about it. Like in the if you see the time frame of life on Earth and how like humans have been changing the which humans have been able to change the the like history, you know, who changed history, who changed things, who brought value to this world. They had the same amount of time. It was no different. Okay, they had 75 years, 80 years, 100 years, 90 years, 65 years, 55 years, like between 50 and 100, you know, and some of them, and some of them less than that, but for most people it's like over the course of your life, what can you do to change the course of life? That's, if you're looking for targets, like if right now you're not understanding the like, and you like the value of mastering creating massive targets for yourself, imagine creating the most massive target of all. Like what's the biggest thing you could do? Change the course of 8 billion people. Do something that could empower 8 billion. Like that's the biggest, like that could be the biggest goal. And if you do that, like your brain changes,
It
like
opens
it's,
up. It opens up to how. It
yes,
asks. It asks how. How can it be done? How can I do it? And then, although like you're probably not going to reach 8 billion people, but you're going to reach the most amount of people that you're physically capable of reaching, right? If you do those actions, you know, as if you're going to reach 8 billion people, then you're going to reach the most amount of people that you can reach. If you say, "Oh, I want to reach 100K," and you're only going to reach like, you know,
it's
10K.
it's your limits, your own limitations are the key to those like you could unlock your full potential by pushing your limits and driving yourself into a zone of greatness. How do you do that? How do you push yourself? How do you push your own limits? Because if I go back, I wouldn't I would have like there's no way I would have think that what I'm doing right now is even possible. You know, I I I wake up super early. I have 2 days in one. I try to have 2 days in one, bro. And probably doctors would listen to me and be like, "Hey, it's pas bon, ça."
Mm.
But I still sleep and I still wake up. I still take care of things. I leave, I get the job done, I come back and I have insights, I have stuff to, and I'm not going to do that for the rest of my life. I'm
Just
doing
right now,
that right now.
you're kind of, in a way, you're kind of miserable because certain days you're just gonna be tired. So it's like you're just doing it to do it because of your goals that you set out.
3:30 in
But
the
you're gonna
morning,
be fucking
4:30 in
miserable.
the
You're
morning,
gonna
I'm waking up,
be
bro.
tired. You're gonna like. It's
Yeah.
not fun. It's not fun to be awake, tired.
Hmm.
It's the shittiest feeling ever. You're running on fumes.
I
If
woke
you
up
want,
at
if you want
I
2 days,
woke
if
up
you
at
want 2 days, one man, you have to live. You have to be willing to accept. And there's nothing worse than being tired. It's the fucking worst feeling. So
it's the target. So the targets, like I said, 8 billion people on this planet. What could be your target? And like you said, the how will come after that because you're going to start asking yourself bigger questions. If you start asking yourself bigger questions, you might have bigger answers. And you're going to be like, hey, so I need to do that means I need to do all that. Yeah, you need to do all that. You need to do all that. You need to do all the marketing. You need to do all the sales. You need to do all the calls at the beginning. You're gonna like if you don't have, and people are gonna be like, yeah, but where am I gonna find the money? Oh, so you don't have the money. Well, you're gonna have to find time and energy, my friend. Time
purpose,
and
baby, purpose,
energy.
purpose. Purpose
Where
is gonna drive
will
you
you
to get purpose.
find
Like,
the
I think
time?
money's gonna be enough to motivate you to keep going. I think you need more than just that to motivate you.
You need a target so big that money doesn't even bother you anymore because
Okay, but
it's never enough.
is that target enough to keep you going those days where you're just fucking running on fumes and you're tired? It's the
Of
fucking
course.
purpose. It's the
Of
money is
course.
not enough. Money is not enough. You need more than that. You need more
So
than
what's
that.
my target?
Well, you just said
Would I
you just said you want to affect 8 billion people. So I guess your purpose is not just money. You want to help people. You want to That's your purpose. I don't think money alone is going to be enough for you to hit your target of like I want to reach and help 8 billion people, which is a crazy big target, right? But if just money was driving you, it's not enough. Because eventually you're gonna reach 500,000 people, and you're gonna make it decent money with that, and you'd be
Mm,
like, you know what I mean. So that's
mm,
why money is not enough for you to reach your
of
8
course.
billion people. You need
That's
more.
why at the beginning I said, we were talking about small victories at the beginning, why it's so important for us. Small victories for me, like you said, money was not
Small
really
wins.
like
You need wins for
small
sure.
wins.
Yeah,
We started without really knowing. We winged a lot of stuff at Uninet at
it
the
just
beginning.
opens up your appetite,
Just
and you
just like a lot of like real entrepreneurs will do that. They will just start, get going. So our wins for us were really at the beginning when we saw that we were able to hire people. Bro, we're cleaning stuff. We're cleaning toilet bowls, bro. We're cleaning toilets. We're cleaning floors. We're cleaning. We're doing the stuff that most companies don't have time to do, and most people don't want to do. We're doing those tasks, and our wins at the beginning were being able to hire people, get them to do those tasks with the proper tools, with the proper equipment, and with a nice team environment. Something that's nice to be in. Our win at the beginning was really to see that people were fighting for their job. People were actually like when we lost the contract at Lightspeed. A lot of people were really sad, and that got me like thinking. I was like, hey, we created something. There's something there.
but it
And
affected you. It affected you when you
it
lost that.
affected us. So
Not just because of the money loss, but because, like, I mean, how many people were you employing with? you were employing a lot of people with that
Yeah.
contract. So you must have been having also the stress of like, shit, man, these guys are relying on me to feed their families. And now we lost this contract.
Not
That
only
is,
that, but there was a family, like, you're right about the of course we were feeding our
and I know
families
you,
with the
you're a good
salary.
fucking person. You're a good fucking person. You have a good heart. And I know for sure that that must have affected you. Like,
But the team effect, we had people there every night, and I was there every night. I was making sure everyone was fine. I was like, I was like, you remember that in those times, I was there every night, bro. I was not. I didn't have to be there every night, but at the beginning I was there every night. Later on, I was able to stay home, and people knew what to do. But at the beginning, I was there every night with Kevin. We were there making sure it was 6 floors, bro, of like, I don't want to say pure mess, but six very used 6 floor, 100,000 square feet to be done every night. So we had a 12 people team, and we had 20 people in rotation, basically.
can I say
And
something? Can I say something? It's positive and it's about you and what I respect this about you. And people could learn off this, what I'm about to say. I like how you sacrifice your time. You don't need to go clean the toilet bowls. You don't need to go clean the windows, but you decided to take this the money that you decided to take the salary money that you would have given to somebody else to go clean the toilets. You went and cleaned the toilets yourself. You took that salary money and you invested it in marketing. You invested it in your CRM. You invested it in hiring people, salespeople,
mhm,
instead of just you know
taking the money for myself.
taking the money for yourself. You
Yeah,
decided I'm gonna do the work myself, not pay myself a salary, and take that money and invest it in marketing. That's what people need to do to
yeah.
grow.
I doubled down.
You need to wake up at 4 a.m. and go
Yeah,
clean the toilet bowls.
go clean
You
them.
saved
Yeah.
money on salary, take that
Even
money,
if you
you
have
did
an
that.
office, people, staff, whatever, it's true. Actually, it's true. I kept
You need to do
doubling
that.
down. I woke up at 4:30 this morning to go clean in La Salle and come back and make this podcast and still work on my system and still work on my things. Not because I'm trying to save on salary to be like cheap and not
No,
pay a
no.
salary. And
And
that's,
that goes back to the point that we said at the beginning of
yeah,
the session. You
yeah,
saved money, and then you asked me, okay, what are you saving the money for? Boom. So you have a reason attached to saving that money. I'm gonna
boom.
re-inject that money in my business and make it bigger. You had a reason attached to it, therefore you were willing to save it. So
Right.
if there's no reason, so people need to have a reason
We
attached to
need a
saving the
reason.
money. And my reason is it doesn't have my reason of saving that 100, $200 on not paying for a checked luggage. I don't have a specific reason attached to saving that $200. I just look at every single dollar saved is a soldier in battle, is a soldier to. I invest in real estate. I could stack more money for to buy another apartment
That's it.
and invest and put that on Airbnb or rent that out and keep building. So for me, it's just a dollar. It's just a soldier going to war.
Right.
You know
You need that dollar to work for you.
exactly.
And how could you make that, like, how could you make that dollar work for your why? Why
So
you're
your
there
why
on earth?
was I'm re-injecting it into my business. Therefore,
I want
I'm
people
gonna go scrub
happy.
toilets with a smile on my face because that money
My
is going my
why, Jord, for Uninet is I want people, I want more people on this earth to be happy going to do the work that 8 billion people need on this planet, because 8 billion people need other people to clean their workplace. There's so many, like this. Think about all the buildings, all the workplaces, all the government, like all this clinics, all the hospitals. Like there's so many cleaning people. There's so many cleaning people that needs to be not saved by us Uninet, but needs proper competition in the marketplace so that their conditions um, improve. We need improvement. We need
Mhm.
more. We need proper tools. We need safer tools. We need less less trash. There's so much soap being used for no reason. There's so much soap being spoiled in the cleaning industry. It's disgusting. We need less soap in the cleaning industry. You know, that's I have very unpopular ideas um, that are very popular inside the cleaners uh, like the employees are the one using the soap and are the one being exposed, but nobody sees their cleaners. Nobody, like, no businesses are really seeing, like, these guys are invisible, they're working in the darkness. Like, if you have a clean if you hire, most of the time when big companies, they hire a cleaning business to clean their offices or whatever, they don't know or they don't see them. You don't see what they use, you don't really see like how they expose themselves to chemicals and how it's harmful. If you My target, my goal is to fix a problem that's it's a problem that most people don't know about, but they should know about. You know what we have, we're going through a water shortage, not here in Canada, but elsewhere in the world. Like, water shortage is real. Like, in some places you can't use water, so let alone use soap to clean. You know, we're gonna need new solutions to clean our premises in a cleaner manner, with less spoilage and less trash and less, in the future. So that's my target. That's my why. That's why I go to work every morning, because I feel like when I go out there and do it myself, I'm more R&Ding than saving money. I'm trying new ways. I'm trying new stuff. We're trying new tools out there, and making sure that they are not more expensive than that's the trick. That's the cheat. If you can make sure that those new tools, those new ways are not more expensive, and they're profiting instead of
You got to do stuff in the right interest for I guess
for everybody.
for the environment and for your business. Yeah, those things have to align, right? What is the triple
Sunshine.
P? People, planet, profit, and it's not just
It'll
about
work.
it's not
It'll
just
work.
about being greedy and making a profit. It's also doing good. You know,
It's also fixing a problem. If you're
exactly.
out there fixing problems, guys, for your community, it'll work. It'll work because you're
Fix
fixing
because you're
something.
fixing problems. You're fixing problems. You're not just doing it for your own pocket. Obviously, the goal is to make money, but
Can't go wrong.
you have to be doing something to solve a problem and to actually help people, because it feels good to help people. We talk about your why and to keep going. Like, money alone is not enough. For that reason that I gave, money alone is not enough, because once you start getting enough money, you'll be like, eh. If it's just money you're after,
If
you're
it's
gonna make a bit of money and you're gonna stop. And
You're
you're
gonna
like,
get bored.
that's my goal. My goal is money. I have it. I'm done. And if your goal is, I want to fucking change 8 billion people, I want to reach 8 billion people, you're just gonna keep going until you're never gonna reach 8 billion people, but you're just gonna keep going. You're never gonna stop. So
If the target's high enough, like, why not?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So we need to set higher goals. All right, my friend.
yeah,
That's it for me for
it's
now.
been an hour, man. Like,
Yeah.
we've been so overboard, but it's fine. Like,
Yeah. Like, if you look at my lighting changed a lot. Like, it was a lot more bright at the beginning of the live. It's, what time
sure,
is it?
bro.
3:30.
But people, you
All
need,
right, my
like,
friend.
yeah, we need to look for success. We need to work for success. That's why we're here. And if you guys enjoyed what you were listening to, please subscribe to our channel. We need that. We need support. We're just starting,
And
and
just being here, just me being here fires me up. So I can imagine people watching us, they must get fired up. They must make them think like, man, this guy Felix brings up a good point. All
let's go, bro. All right, it
right.
was nice speaking, bro. On parle demain,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Ciao.
Yeah, yeah. Ciao, ciao, bro.